All right. Hello and welcome to the October member showcase of the Decentralized AI Agent Alliance. Once again, so everybody remembers, our mission here is to foster the development and proliferation of decentralized AI agents through education, activism, research, and events both in real life and on Zoom. Right? Our membership statistics, since our founding in January, we've grown to 122 project members, 38 individual members, so 160 total. And today we've got going to get presentations from two of our members, iQube and PrivacyCheq. But real quick, before I turn over the floor, our next showcase is November 17th. We can have up to 3 showcases. So we already have our first one, our CEO will be presenting. So if you want to present or know somebody who wants to present, let us know for the 17th. Our next general meeting is November 3rd. And that's really it. So, I ask each of the presenters to try and keep it to 10-minute max. We can then, allow questions that from the audience, and then we'll turn it over to the second one. But Deli, why don't we start with you?
Excellent. Hi everybody.
I'll stop sharing. There you go.
Okay, and I think we were going to stop the recording. Perfect. And forgive me, I'm at the Quantum and a Crypto and AI conference here in New York.
All right, can you hear me,
Alan?
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm going to go through this super quick because of the time frame. PrivacyCheq has not been a AI or crypto company. We were founded about 12 years ago to help enterprises do compliance with privacy regulations. The problem that we're solving here is that AI agents have a bunch of data, and they have information that was tracked from people that may or may not have been aware of it or have given their consent, and regulators are coming at that very hard. So we were able to understand this problem and to leverage the platform that we've built that's been running for 10 years to handle this problem for agentic AI, where you don't even have a human. There's no possibility of a banner being displayed because it's a machine talking to a machine about data that was gathered by 3 machines ago. So we have created a system that uses a distributed ledger to post the activity and the preferences of a person in an anonymous way, so that agents can actually operate in a compliant way with all the regulations that are existing and coming for how AI and how agentic AI particularly can deal with people's data. So our solution is an LLM-ready SDK. It has there's a middleware thing, which is what we're actually going to be showing you, which shows the user flow of how a user would go through seeing what they're giving their consent for, giving their consent, and then we prove it by looking at the DLT. Not unlike the previous demo, the DLT is the immutable proof that the agents can look at. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Andrew, who's the guru on this, and he can give you this quick demo.
Too kind. Yeah, so like Roy said, I'm going to show you first how we would provide a notice to a person who wanted to give consent for the processing of their information by an AI. Of course, this is what we've been doing for 10 years, being able to provide a simple, easy to understand privacy notice that's going to look good not only on a desktop computer, but also here on a mobile device, right? And once a individual has seen that, we'll offer them a dashboard that'll give them the ability to make a choice about their privacy. Not even necessarily consent to use their personal information for training models, but just about any sort of uh, consent to use personal information you could think of. Uh, Being able to reach them for marketing, for instance, hold on to an email address or something like that. And of course, we've shown our our customers like how we're going to use their personal information. We've asked them for their consent, and then anytime this information is used, we can prove by going to the ledger that, of course, this particular piece of information, we actually have consent to process it, and that we can even go live right here to a hash graph and see that in real time.
We've built this on the Hedera DLT, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And that's really all I've got to show here. I'll turn it back to you, Roy. Oh, actually,
Well, we got a consent receipt. There's we proposed this as an open source standard. We're not hoping to be the monopolist of this. We have used the Hashgraph Online group and proposed this as a standard for all agentic AI consent. And so we've open sourced it in essence. We have a functioning version of it, but we are presenting it into the industry as this is something that was created by people who know the ins and outs of consent. There's a lot about it that people don't appreciate. The so-called cookie banner that we've all seen is not a solution. It's a fake solution that was created by the ad networks to try to continue their surveillance marketing that really is not legal. It's been proven by the European regulators to be not legal. So our system is a real consent management system, and we've brought it to the world of agentic AI, which has, I believe it's a pretty strong need for this because the data that trains the AI, is potentially very volatile, very bad. And there's going to be a case of a regulator taking a big AI LLM to task and with probably a many billion-dollar fine for not doing the right thing with privacy. So far, it's a Wild West. Everybody's just scraping stuff, and what was my information used for training? One way people are finding this out is by putting stuff into Chat GPT and seeing their own data show up in responses, which is pretty scary, pretty bad. So we joined this group because we totally support the legal implementation of agents, and we're trying to solve this aspect of it.
If you guys would like to give it a try yourself, head over to privacycheck.com and you should be able to join our alpha program here.
Yeah, there's a live demo. You can actually run it. If you want to see the privacy notice on your smartphone, there's a QR code you can scan, or you can just send the words AI to 717-467-3274, and you can run the living privacy notice, which is modeled after nutrition facts that we all have on our food.
Correct.
I had noticed that, and I was going to make a comment on it. I guess that was intentional.
Oh, very intentional. Yeah. Well, remember, we've been doing this for 10 years, not for AI, but when you start to show people complex information like what I'm doing with your privacy, I'm tracking you, I'm taking your email and stuff, their eyes bug out. And so we found that by using the paradigm that they're already used to, which is food labels, and having it be a drill down, instead of I'm showing you 8 pages of legalese document, which is the typical privacy notice. This is if he clicks on data types, oh, I care about data types. Now that'll drill down into that, or whatever. It's presenting it in a layered way that consumers are much more likely to actually self-serve their information needs.
And for anybody, I mean, that's very familiar for anybody in the US, anybody outside the US. I'm not sure what their labels would look like, but
Oh, they do have them in the EU, but you're right, it's not a global standard.
yeah. But it does look like a nutrition label that's standard across every food item in the US.
Right.
Now, I thought this very impressive. How are you doing in terms of getting this out there and getting people to use it?
Well, we've just started. We launched, we publicly launched this in August, and the difficulty we face is that where this has to be implemented is it has to be at the provider or the enterprise level. Somebody who's a user of ChatGPT really can't avail themselves of this because it has to be built into the system. So our efforts, our business development efforts, are in talking to OpenAI and these big guys, which those conversations take a long time. So I would tell you, I don't have any any amazing deals to report or anything like that. We're trying to climb up that well and find, essentially we're looking for somebody in that market who recognizes the problem that this privacy thing represents and wants to get behind us and say, well, we're going to use this and we want to support it as an open standard. Whoever sets a standard in a big industry like AI sort of has a hilltop view for the rest of the market, such as Microsoft with Windows. So we're trying to pitch ourselves as, you all have this problem, somebody has to solve it. We're not in this market, but we've solved it in a clever way. You should adopt our thing and make it, the OpenAI privacy consent management system. And we're open sourcing it. And here's the standard, and everybody go on and do their thing. So we are.
Do you worry that they're trying to solve for something else?
Well, what I would expect, mirroring what happened with the advertising industry and their privacy, certain people in the industry are going to want to do something that looks like compliance, but it doesn't really slow them down. It's sort of malicious compliance. That's what the cookie banner was created by the ad networks, to make it so annoying that they hoped that everybody would say, well, we don't want to care about cookies. Let's just move on. You can keep using our data. And it kind of worked. Unfortunately, it kind of worked. So I would expect some of that in the AI industry. There's some people that would just want to move forward, break things and go fast. Our market is to somebody who has a little bit bigger picture and says, we want to do this right, because we know if we just keep grabbing people's data, there's an end to that. Somehow that's going to come to an end. And if we're the guy who does it right, we actually will have a market advantage when that day comes. Today, it kind of doesn't matter because it's the Wild West. Everybody's just. So we're looking for a forward-looking industry player who's, got money to throw around. We're just a tiny little company. We can't make this be a standard ourselves.
Sure. So just real quick before hand it over to Rupak, DAIAA has subgroups that address problems and issues that members want to address, and so maybe we can talk about starting a kind of privacy standard subgroup. Because I'm sure that there are other members of DAIAA who would like to work at that, as well as lots of people outside of DAIAA who would like to help with that.
Yeah, it's a weird issue because if you're an enterprise that uses AI agents for your business, it's not clear whether the regulator is going to come after you because you did something wrong, or they're going to come after the creator of the AI agents. Typically, they go for the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest target, and that's going to be the enterprise. So there will be upward pressure from enterprises who'd make big use of AI to say to OpenAI, hey, you got to solve this. You got to do something about this.
Makes sense. Rupak?
This is a great one. And I'll tell you, I'll just put a use case in front of you guys. So you were talking about, hey, you're approaching OpenAIs of the world. I was thinking differently. So recently we did a project for a cybersecurity company, and we were just building up their customer support system. And their key was everything has to be in-house, self-hosted. They don't want whether LLMs, whether orchestration layers like WAPI or anything to be anywhere in the cloud. It has to be on-premise. And then we started using Olama, and that was our LLM. So if your product can integrate with Olama, and that we can easily put it out there because that's an open source area. And rather than approaching the enterprise, just the way we are using Olama, there are other enterprises who are also using that. So think of that approach to your product, that just rather than using just with the Geminis of the world, if we can think up of self-hosted platforms, which are going to be a key for the enterprise.
Agreed. Totally agree
Right?
that the
And
enterprise, yeah.
And that is something that can be approached for you, because when we are working with this, they have their own client base. And now one of the key things we are working on, hey, can I use a customer's information to build up my own training so that I can have a better customer support system? And we were talking about this potential problem that do we have the consent of the customer to use it? So you guys fit perfectly in that space. So just throwing it out there of what we have been working on, which was not OpenAI, but using Olama, and what your solution is, if in the future, as you mature enough, can there be a easy plug and play?
That's an excellent point, and one that I hadn't considered. I appreciate that. Our system has been up and running for 10 years. So your client could easily use this within their built-in thing without involving the agentic AI stuff. So we have a lot of use cases like that where an enterprise has their own system. The one thing that they often want to have is on premises. We are hosted on Amazon AWS, which today is having an issue, but if they want to have it on premises, there's it's slightly more expensive.
Yep, it is. Yeah, like even the servers we are running, right? This client of mine is a partner with Oracle, and Oracle has given them all the servers, but the server cost is itself $5,000 a month. So it's not cheap. As soon as you talk about self-hosted, it's not cheap. And Andrew, I see that expression, but we are running so many more things on the server rather than just the customer support system.
No, good points. Yeah, I thought, interesting presentation. Anybody else have any thoughts or questions? Going once?
Yeah. One quick question. What part of it are you saying is open source?
The schema, the schema of the interaction between the AI agents for who has the consent, and there's the public using the public ledger as in essence like a posting system. All the stuff involving the person's choices and the user experience that's our technology, but the schema of interactions between the agents and the there's a structure that we can post the standard. It's called HCS 19. It's on a Hashgraph online. There's a full documentation of it.
Okay, thanks. I'll look into that.
Great. Anybody else? Going once?
I have a question.
Hey.
Hey guys, it's Eric here. Do you have anything in your protocol that deals with licensing and royalties, payments, stuff like that, or is it just purely privacy?
Yeah, no, we have stayed away from monetary issues because I mean it's like a whole thing. So our involvement has really been with respect to preferences, not just consent, but like, you know, if you go to a company and they want to keep track of, well, you like this size shoe and all that stuff, they're called granular data items that are private data, but they're not, you know, your social security number. It's just information that's connected around your ID. We do handle that, but we don't get involved with financial stuff at all, nor do we involve ourselves with medical stuff, because we, I mean, it opens up a whole can of
HIPAA is hard.
complexity.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Unless you're on a private blockchain. Yeah.
But of course, yeah, anything that we would want to give consent to, we could also manage that just as we would consent for training.
Got it. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. I'm my company Bloxy, we're working on a open standard for licensing and payments. So it might be an interesting partnership or collaboration at some point, because like, okay, I've given consent for my content or my data to be monetized. So now let's monetize it. So that would sort of be the handoff point.
That'd be a different notice about how the personal information is being used, but or I guess the content would be used.
Mhm.
But that could work. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's stay in touch. Let's collaborate. We'll be publishing our standard soon.
I just published the link in the chat to the standard proposal.
Oh, great. Thank you. Take a look. Excellent. No, I'm really glad you're working on this. This is super important.
Thank you. It's definitely needed. There's we've never talked to anyone who said, "Oh, that's dumb. Nobody will ever want that."
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, very cool. Thanks again. Great presentation. And, you know, so that is, you know, the formal part of the meeting. If there's anything else that any of the members want to mention or ask about, we can open it up for, you know, the remaining time. Or if not, then we'll call it early. Anybody have anything that they want to mention or ask about? Once? Twice? Okay. Well, great. Good seeing everyone. I thought it was a great meeting.
Thank you,
See ya.
everyone.
Thank you.